Hello there, this is James, and you're watching OneRoyal, and it's live. In today's program, I want to discuss how a certain president may have just once again made another U-turn, and how that is giving relief to the market. As well as that, a certain billionaire has said he's going to be returning home to steady the ship, and implications that means to a certain stock of a company. But before we get into all of that, don't forget these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should be taken as financial advice. I always suggest you do your research, do your due diligence, and of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. With that out of the way, let's get started. So yeah, has Trump done another U-turn? Another U-turn? Because let's go back on this whole. We did a video last week on this. But anyway, let's go over this again. Previously on Trump versus Powell, Trump said this: Powell's termination cannot come fast enough. And then, as well as that, also previously on Trump versus Powell, Trump said, I'm not happy with him. I let him know it. If I want him out, he'd be out real fast. Believe me. And then on Monday, White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett said Team Trump will continue to study whether Fed Chair Jerome Powell could be fired. Don't forget, the Fed is its own independent body. It's separate from politics, separate from the government. It's independent. That's how it should be. But they were looking at ways to see if they could fire him. The reaction on this, or the knock-on impact of this, of course, was the markets went into panic on Monday, and we saw gold. Of course, I'm going to say gold hit another all-time high of $3,500. However, in today's episode of Trump versus Powell, Trump has said this: I have no intention of firing Powell. He also said this: the press runs away with things. No, I have no intention of firing him. I would like to see him a little bit more active in terms of his ideas to lower interest rates. So a complete turnaround from what was being said on Friday, and indeed hinted at on Monday when the market came under pressure. So a complete turnaround. Complete turnaround. Now, you could say, is this because obviously the implications it had on the market, because the market went into panic mode on Monday with the idea that Trump was going to try and remove Powell? Absolute panic mode. Or is it simply a case, again, I'm opening this up to everybody, people let me know their opinions and their views on it, or is it simply a case that the Trump administration looked through all the legal technicalities and realized they can't remove him, they can't fire him, which obviously Trump likes to drive his own ship, so this obviously must be infuriating him. But is it a case of that they saw that what was happening on Monday, that they suddenly thought, oh my God, we better come out and say no, okay, we're not thinking of do that? Was it simply a case that they found out they couldn't do that? That's the age-old question. And anyway, as well as that, there's a lot of joy today, because there's more joy to come. because the Trump administration also hints that the trade war with China will start to cool down. Don't forget, this has been a major weight on the shoulders of the market over the last couple of trading sessions, a massive weight. And Trump, again, is adamant. China, I'll get China. China needs to pay. But of course, we've seen the implications that has had on the market. But today, it is almost like, wait, I'll comment here. That's a very good question. Hey, James, what do you think of Musk stepping down from Trump as Tesla shares still fall? Do you think it's the start of rats leaving the ship? That's a very, very, very good question. In fact, that's a topic for one of the later bits. I'll come back to that question in a bit because I'm going to talk about Musk and Tesla in a little while, but a great question nonetheless. And we'll come back to that question. Now, he's, like I say, so again, he seems to be backtracking a little bit again, another U-turn. In fact, Trump had to say this. 145% is too high. Put it there in the first place. 145% is too high and it will come down substantially. And he followed up with this. I plan to be very nice to China to reach a deal. So again, this is all part of the plan. Was it another classic case of a Trump U-turn? Realizing and seeing the implications that this has had. Same as the Powell situation. Has he seen this and looked at it and said, this is how, what impacts the market? I better start trying to calm things down. Again, open question up to you good people. You let me know. Market reaction, though. Well, in the nutshell, there was much rejoicing. Yay, much rejoicing. Let's have a quick look at the market right now, because indeed, there is a sense of calm and relief with Powell, with these comments about the trade war with China, is giving the market a little bit of a boost. But let's have a quick look at it right now. So to start off with the S&P 500, like I say, Monday was a really tough day with the whole Powell drama. But the S&P has managed to open up with a gap in a positive. On a daily, don't forget, currently trading at 5,454 points, did indeed open with a gap. So again, much rejoicing. US Nasdaq, sir, again, same thing, opened with a gap once again, much rejoicing. Gold, I'm going to talk about gold, of course. I'm going to bring up the yellow metal. Hit an all-time high on Monday on the back of this whole Powell, Trump versus Powell mini-series or sitcom, whatever you want to call it. It's since fallen back because the rush to safe haven is not being, needed so much, or not shining so bright. Currently trading around $3,266.54, so under pressure. There's another reason why gold is under pressure today. That's quite a big drop. Hit an all-time high of $3,504, now back down to $3,263. There's another reason. It's not only the safe haven status is not so alluring as previous, is because we're seeing a strong greenback at last. If we can see here with the euro, pressuring the euro down 113.50. Cable, British pound, US dollar down 132. It was touching 134 a couple of trading sessions ago. Dollar yen up 142. Don't forget, it was under a lot of pressure, trading at touch 139. In fact, we're seeing a lot of dollar strength at the moment. This is the best rally for the greenback we have seen in 2 weeks. So not only is the market rejoicing, the dollar bulls are rejoicing. Now, there's another story I want to talk, and it will go back to this brilliant question, which I had just a minute ago. And that is, of course, is Musk apparently is back at the wheel. Indeed, he is back at the wheel. And it really couldn't happen at the best time for him to announce that. And there's probably a reason why he announced that, because there's no way you can hide the real numbers. Obviously, yesterday, Tesla had their earning reports, and it was as expected. It was pretty dire. Year on year, for the first quarter, was down nearly 20%, 19.5%, I think it says there. So yeah, as you can see, Tesla is under a lot of pressure. Their revenue is dropping very dramatically. As well as that, their competition is increasing. BYD in particular, is absolutely, it's a real deal now. It's real competition to Tesla. You see from these deliveries, these sales. BYD is, really giving Tesla a lot to think about. So obviously, there's a lot of talk, of course, from Musk about robo taxis, things like this. But realistically, really, how he's trying to calm the shareholders and calm the market is he says he's going to be returning to the office. He said this: "I will continue to spend a day or two per week at the DOGE, or Doge, whatever you want to call it. But I will be allocating far more of my time to Tesla." Now, going back to this great question, and the question was asked earlier on. What do I think of Musk stepping back from Trump as Tesla's shares are falling? Do you think it would be the start of the rats leaving the ship? At the end of the day, I think Musk's decision, again, he's still going to spend 1 or 2 days. I do think he's realizing, of course, that Tesla has been under humongous pressure. And it's not just because of his political affiliation. Okay, obviously that has indeed, of course, upset a few people, but it's down to the numbers. It's down to the sales. Tesla has dropped dramatically in Europe. In Asia, it's dropped dramatically as well in sales. BYD is proving to be real competition. And it's not the EV market. As we discussed before in previous videos, the EV market is growing. It's just for Tesla, it was one of the, obviously unique, one of the first out there, is declining. So he needs his attention. He did this very similar back in 2022. Okay, when all his attention was focused on Twitter, which is obviously now X, that damaged Tesla's share price a lot until he diverted the attention back to Tesla. And as you can see, and we'll look at Tesla in a minute, what it's done to his share price is, despite the shocking numbers yesterday, this announcement that Musk is going to return to the office and focus more is giving it a real boost. So I don't think it's necessarily a case of rats jumping the sinking ship or leaving the sinking ship quite yet. He has said his own comments to Trump, apparently, that tariffs are not good for the America. He should lighten up on tariffs, but so maybe he's thinking that. But I think more the fact that his company is really under pressure, and he knows that his appearance and simply making his announcement that he's back behind the wheel is enough. Another little comment here: I love the image. It would be funnier if he was trying to extinguish a flaming Tesla. Yeah, but anyway, that's enough of that. Good point, though. Good comment as well. Let's have a quick look at Tesla and how it's favoring in the market. Like I say, after the shocking earnings, but Musk announcing his return. So straight away, as we can see, this is on a daily. It opened higher. It has indeed opened higher. It's currently trading just under 5% higher. Again, this is purely fueled by Musk saying he's going to start, focus more time on it. Not 5 days a week, but more time on it. So that's giving it a boost. But then, to be fair, you can also see that throughout the whole of the Mag 7, Meta is up as well. Microsoft is up. Amazon is up. Alphabet is up. Nvidia Corporation is up. Apple is up. And I tell you, you can see there's a little bit more risk appetite. This is also due to the fact that a certain strategy fund bought a lot of the last couple of trading sessions. But Bitcoin is back above 90,000, first time since March. So you can see there is a bit of risk appetite purely for what's happened over the last 24 hours in the ongoing drama, which is Donald Trump. Anywho, don't forget, this is a live show. We've had a couple of questions, a couple of comments already. Don't forget, you ask me questions or comment anytime you wish, anytime you like. Share me your opinions, your viewpoints. Let me know what you think. It's the whole point of these shows. As well as that, of course, if you're watching me on YouTube and you like this sort of thing, by all means, subscribe. If you like, hit the notification button so you know next time I'm going live. You know, if you like this sort of thing, well, means give me one of those. It's nice to know that you like what we do. And the same if you're watching us on Twitter/X. Old person, so I can't keep up with the times. You know, give us a little heart if you like. And don't forget, as well as that, of course, I've noticed a lot of people go back and watch the recordings, which is great. If you're watching the recordings on YouTube and you then have a comment, you want to say something, by all means, make a little comment and I will see it. I will answer that question or that comment in my next live show, which of course I go live every single day, which of course I'll be back live again tomorrow. If there is no further questions, not a problem, not a problem. Leaves me to say, of course, you know, if there is no question. Oh, actually, before I leave, actually, let's talk some financial data. What else is coming out? Because there's other things other than Donald Trump, tariffs, Trump versus Powell, the trade war. There's other things as well. We have got US manufacturing PMI, US durable goods this week, UK retail sales, and US consumer sentiment, which I think will be quite interesting because, as I said in previous videos over the last couple of weeks, the actual numbers have been okay, but the sentiment has not been so good. The actual feelings has not been so good. So we'll be looking at that. But anyway, if there is no questions, leaves me to say one thing, one little sentence. Don't forget, these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should be taken. Oh, I've got a question. Thank you, great show, James. Okay, thank you very so much. I really appreciate that. I really do. Anyway, get back to my ending spiel, but thank you for that. Anyway, let's start again. Anyway, don't forget, these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should be taken as financial advice. I always suggest you do your research, do your due diligence, and of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. Till next time, every single one of you, trade safe.